Boker Tov, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful summer so far. This week, I want to share with you one of my favorite mitzvot, which happens to be found in the Torah portion this week in Parshat Ve'etchanan. It's what we call a blockbuster Torah portion. It has the 10 Commandments in it, and it also has the Shema and the Ve'ahavta, which many of you probably know very well. Now, the Ve'ahavta is the source for this mitzvah. And what is the mitzvah? The mitzvah of putting on Tefilin, right? These black boxes with leather straps. In English, they're called phylacteries, so that's not a word you'll hear very often, that people wear every morning when they pray, only during the week and not on Shabbat. Let's start there. What are these tefillin about? They are an ot, they are a sign, a reminder that every day has the potential to be a holy and sacred day. That's why you don't wear them on Shabbat or on the holidays, because you don't need a reminder. The day itself, Shabbat or Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah or Sukkot, is the reminder. But on a regular old Wednesday or Tuesday or any other day of the week, you put on tefillin in the morning. Now, this is a practice that I have been doing since I was probably about 15 or 16 years old, every single day. My day is not the same if I miss, which has happened maybe I can count on one hand, because it's such a critical part of my everyday. Why is it so important? So the first thing is you bind them, ukshartam leot al yadecha, you bind them on your hand, and then you put them on your head, which we'll get to in a minute. You put one strap on your upper arm and 7 on your lower arm, saying a blessing, just like this, and then you wrap it around your hand. The blessing is l'haniach tefillin, to put on tefillin. You take what we call is the shel rosh, the one for your head, and you put it on your head. V'hayu litotafot beinenecha, they should be like frontlets between your eyes. What are totafot? Nobody really knows, but the idea was it was referred to be understood to be the tefillin. So what's with these tefillin? And then you wrap on your hand, saying the words from the prophet Hosea about being engaged to God, being like in a loving relationship with God. And you'll notice, by the way, when you wrap on your hand, and everybody does it a little differently, you'll see there's a shin, there's a dalid, and there's a yud, if you might hold my hand this way. Shaddai, another name for God. So what's this all about? Why these tefillin, other than it says so in the Ve'ahavta? Well, I like to think of it as follows. First of all, we were people that were bound up, right? We were bound up in Egypt and we were freed. And so every morning when we put on the tefillin, we're reminded what it means to be free, what it means to fight for freedom, what it means to make sure that other people who are somehow enslaved, somehow trapped, somehow need help, that it's our responsibility to help them. Number one. Number two, you'll notice 7 straps. I like to think of it Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, right? We come from a people that goes way back. And every time we put on the tefillin in the morning, we remember we are a part of a history. There's a chain of tradition that continues with us, and it's our responsibility to continue to be an active part of that chain. You'll notice there's a box pointing towards my heart. There's a box on my head. I'm supposed to feel Jewish in my heart. I'm supposed to use my intellect to learn, to study, to think about what does it mean to be Jewish every day. And when I think about the fact that it's on my hand, I should do Jewish, right? So feel Jewish, think Jewish, do Jewish. Also a reminder of the tefillin. And then there's the part that you saw me do where I wrapped it on my hand. This idea of being engaged to God. Now that may sound kind of strange. What's that about? That's about trying to be in a relationship, trying to be in a loving relationship with God, trying to think about what God means in our life, where we are with our relationship with God in our life, and how do we create a sense of closeness, like two people who are eternally in love and committed to each other. How do you create that sense of closeness? It's not always so easy, but it's our responsibility to try every day. And so I wake up each morning and I get ready to pray. And immediately just by putting on the tefillin every morning. I've thought about a connection to my history. I've thought about my responsibility as someone who's free. I've thought about the importance of feeling Jewish and thinking Jewish and learning, right, and doing Jewish. And I've thought about my connection to God. I don't know about you, but if I didn't do this every morning, I likely wouldn't think about those things. And so it's an important reminder. So that's a little bit about the mitzvah of tefillin that I wanted to share with you today. We actually have some extra in the synagogue. Sometimes people bring some they're no longer using. So if anybody wants to try this on or learn more about it, send me an email. I'm happy to connect you in that way. And hope you learned a little something about one of my favorite mitzvot, the mitzvah of tefillin. And I hope you have a wonderful day. Have a great day.